What's going on, everybody? It is October 4th, 2024. My name is Kenny Kamz, and this is The Black Show. What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good Friday. Go stream my song "Wait a Minute." I'm gonna have the link in the bio to this. It's one of my first records that's more pop or modern, like modern rap pop. Like it's a fun record. I'm putting out fun records from now on, or for at least a little bit, for a little while, until the album comes out of nowhere. So go check it out. Again, if you need production, I mix, master, produce, so that all the records y'all hear from me, nobody else's hands touch but mine. So I did from the production to the writing to the mixing, the mastering, everything, cover art, all that. So holla at me. But let's get into today's topic. The topic I want to talk about today is boundaries. Um, Healthy boundaries, toxic boundaries. Like, what are boundaries? So in my real life, I have like so actually I'll back it up. I'll back it up a little bit. Growing up, so I've had high functioning autism my whole life. I know you can't really tell, and it doesn't really show in like physical features and stuff. It's more in my thinking patterns. I've realized, and sometimes my eyes will do like get super wide and stuff like that too. So, and when I get super excited, it kind of shows too. But it really wasn't known to nobody. So I in that being a thing, because I don't see it as a negative, honestly. It's the reason why I can do all of this stuff, honestly. Or one of the reasons. But I always had a hard time fitting in if I didn't have somebody to model my behavior after. That makes sense. So like in high school, it benefited more than middle school and like grade. I went from K5 to eighth grade. In high school, it benefited a little bit more because in high school, I was able to identify. It's kind of easier to identify who's cool in high school, and then basically I just pattern my behavior after that, right? And then college, I did a similar thing too, but I didn't really understand what was cool because the people I was following were not the cool people that I should have followed. Like high school, you could get away with that. College is more. I should have been in more clubs. I should have been more active in my education because I was paying a lot of money for it. I didn't have the context of like you're paying for this, so you should get the most of it. I had it more as like a vacation. You're paying for it, so they can't tell you what to do. And I should have had it in the inverse. Like I kind of have more so now. But I realized that like just to keep going kind of with the autism thing as a kid, in sports, it really depended on who my coach was. And it's crazy because like my freshman year at Riverside, I think I averaged like 28 a game, 25 or 28 a game on freshman. I played on freshman. And it was because my coach fucked with me. Um, really good baseball player. It was something I realized yesterday watching that Brewer game. It was disappointing. But in middle school, I didn't understand why I pitched cert had to like my catcher pretty much controlled where I pitched in middle school, and that was rare because in middle school it's kind of just throw the ball. Excuse me. But the reason was because I could throw fast and accurate, but I had no situational context of like, okay, it is two strikes, no balls. Let's throw a ball here to see if we can get him to swing out some outside of the zone. I never had a coach tell me that, so I never understood that. And I'm like, dog, if I didn't knew that, shoot, if I knew that, like I got it a little bit better in high school. Like I'm like, dog, I'd have been so cold. But I lack that, and I've started to gain that and develop that as I became an adult. And being like that most of your life, I have very low boundaries. Like because most of the time it's just trying to be accepted and trying to be liked and just and it's not on a level of like surface level. It's on like a trying to be understood on like a soul level. Because I really have never felt like anybody understood me. I'm not gonna be drama queen and like oh nobody, but like and it's okay. I'm okay with that. I've came to the conclusion like that's just a thing that I got to deal with on this loop around. So, but I was very poor at putting my boundaries up. Like I look back, somebody want me to talk. Dang, I look back. It was a lot of like helpful things I did for friends. I shouldn't have did. Like I remember one time. This is when I lived in Point after I graduated. Yeah, I was working there. I was just working. I think at US Bank. Um, one of the people I hung out with in college came back. He was living down in Whitewater at the time with some chick, right? And he had to get back down to Whitewater, and it was a fucking snowstorm, and I'm in a Monte Carlo, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, it's like a snowstorm," and fam tried to make me feel guilty for not wanting to take him, so I ended up taking him and almost got into an accident on the way back. Like it's that's just one situation, but I can name like 30 to 40 situations where I put myself in situations like that where I just said, no, fuck you. I don't care if you and my fear was I was like, oh, I don't want that person to be mad at me. And then what changed this was I had a situation where I got out of a relationship and had a smear campaign ran against me, right? Multiple, and it wasn't just by one person, it's by multiple people because I realized what was going on in the situation and I called it out. So that's why I tell people if you don't want people to know something, don't tell me. Not that I'm gonna go talk behind your back. If it's something I feel like I'll say publicly, I will. Like unless you physically tell me like, hey, this is a me and you thing, then I'm gonna think it's public knowledge, and I whatever. But the thing is, I don't talk behind people's backs about people. Like I talk about things. I don't talk about people. That's how I operate. I talk about things and ideas. I don't talk about other people. And I realize most people they like get a high, they get dopamine off of talking about other people. So I get out of a relationship, I get smeared everywhere. Like when I say everywhere, like the MMA kickboxing got to even that crowd. Uh Cats I grew up with, cats I went to college with, just people throughout the city. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's kind of why I started this podcast. I was like, well, I found out that my business was being talked about, and I'm not even a person that got a lot of business, yo. I literally just do this all day. I make music or I make videos and I edit. I'm a nerd for real. Like, or I'm doing something outside in the yard, cleaning up around the house. Like, I'm not out in these streets like that. I even like faked like I was for a little bit, and it didn't. I'm like, this is not even enjoyable. Like, these people are toxic and terrible. So I don't have a lot of business, but and I think that that makes people want to know. Like, so what's he got going on? What's it? And it's a weird thing. It's weird to me. That's super weird. And so I've put up my boundaries a lot now. A lot. Like when I see stuff that I don't, I'm like, nah. And people may take it personally, but just know I don't care that much because it's like I know that person. End of the day, is just doing that to entertain themselves. They don't give a fuck about me. It's probably like two or three people in this world I say actually truly give a fuck about me, and that's cool because that's how most people. I'm not like an outlier. That's how most people are. But I'm also not trying to impress anybody or like trying to get anyone to like it's not. I'm good on that now. I did that for like 30 something years, y'all. I'm good on that. So now it's like if you don't talk to me with respect, because I know personally I speak with two people with respect. I'm kind, like I know this. So and I'm 100% sure of that. So if someone that's coming disrespectful to me, like I had a family member hit me up not a couple days ago, right? After all the studio stuff, like and the whole interaction with fam was whack because like it was super entitled and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, bro. And I ain't never disrespect dog. I was just like, hey man, I know how this family get where like it's so much gossip behind the scenes on all sides. I'm talking about both sides of mine. It's so much gossip and shit behind the scenes where I'm like, y'all don't even want to be family. Like y'all don't want to be family. So why am I putting effort into that? Like, and but he came back with like, well, yeah, let's forget all the BS. I was like, bro, forget all the BS. Let's work together now. I'm like, hey, look, cause I love you, but and it was never no BS from this side. But no, I'm good. I learned from past experiences and I move differently. Like, no, it's one chance. And like I think people aren't used to dealing with people like that, but it doesn't matter who it is because if you speak to me, you have no like. He spoke real disrespectful to me, and I still was very respectful and like cousinly and whatever that's a word. But I'm like, why do you feel comfortable to talk to me like that? One and two, why is all that emotion being turned towards me? Like, what have you heard about me to make you think that it's okay to talk to me like that? Then I track it back, and I'm like, that's why I keep my. I really and I don't even think this is a trauma response, y'all. I really do not think this is. I've talked about it, talked to people like I don't think it is. I truly the people that I've been interacting with, homie, with the studio, X, like the last like 5 or 6 people that I've like went into partnership with or any kind of way have been shady as shit. And then on the outside, the inverse of that, it's making that's why I'm stopped working with people because it's making it look like I'm the shady person. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm if it's gonna be habitual nonsense I'm gonna deal with, I'm just gonna do my thing myself. So and like that's the part where and then I then like, oh well no, he's being an asshole. Like why to continue to put yourself out there when you gotta deal with bull I don't do bullshit stuff. So like I don't play the game of like, oh I wanna like, dude, it's that's so frustrating and so like just exhausting, fam. To play them type of games with people in relationships and partnerships and friendships and family anywhere. It's so annoying. Like, why are y'all doing that? And I'm like the weird person because I refuse to do that shit. Or I'm the one that's difficult because I refuse to play that stupid ass game or whatever. Like, what is that? Like, that's why now I if you do silly shit to me, bye. 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 I wish you the best. Bye. I love you. I may still love you, but I'm gonna love you from way afar. Because I'm too old and too consciously aware of like to deal with silly shit like that, dog. And then it'll get it turned at first like, oh, he's being emotional. Or he's like, no, I'm not. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed dealing with shit. I'm annoyed. It's not emotional. It's not like oh being extra. I'm annoyed with you because that's silly as fuck. And why do I got to deal with this shit? This goes back to the COVID stuff. This goes back to this Kamala Harris being black. I'm like, man, I'm tired of dealing with you silly motherfuckers that don't know what y'all talking about. Like, call me whatever you want. I'm done with it, bro. This raps. I need some Carmex too. Y'all got me out here talking. I'm thirsty. It's early in the morning. But yeah, y'all. What y'all think? Are my boundaries too much? Am I overdoing it? I really don't think so, y'all. I'm open to suggestion on it. I'm open to conversation on it, but I don't know. People suck. People suck, bro. And I've learned this when people treat you certain type of ways for no reason, they're doing whatever they're however they're treating you, that's what they're doing behind the back to you. Good example. My ex always used to say I was cheating with one of my exes who I hadn't even spoken to. It like when she said that shit in front of my mom at one time, my mom was like, "What? Her?" Like, it was like, "Damn!" The whole time she was cheating with one of her exes. So it it's people do that shit. So the music thing. Look, my cousin was like, "Oh, I feel like you don't respect what I'm doing as a musician, or you trying to little dog." I'm like, "Bro, nothing I did that. Nothing at all." I was like, "Oh, you feel that way, and you projecting that shit on me because you don't feel like you're good enough, or you want to be some other rapper that you not. I don't know." But I'm annoyed with it, and I'm not gonna placate it. I'm not gonna deal with it. If you don't want to deal with me, that's fine. But that's the red line. Don't come to me with silly shit. I ain't got time for it. And if I'm an asshole for that, I'm an asshole. If I'm a bad guy for that, I'm a bad guy. If you don't like me, If I'm crazy, whatever adjective, whatever word you want to come up with about me, I don't give one single fuck. And I mean that so deeply. I remember when Cam was on is what he was talking about. I can't describe how much I don't care no more. I'm gonna end it on this. I always go back to it. It's a Rick and Morty episode. I forgot what it was called, but it was Morty got put into a video game. Right. And the people are booing at Rick, right? And Rick says, when I hear your boos, they sound like cheers because I know what you cheer for. It's Kenny Kamz, y'all. It's a black show. Have a good weekend, y'all. I'm out. Peace. Go stream. Wait a minute for me, too. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.
JP said, girl, shake it for the bros. Let me see you touch your toes. How we dancing, music, playing in the rain. No, Diddy, how you feeling like a mush? But I'm really like a pimp named Slickback. You really wanna get that bitch back?